Good morning, guys. The weather is holding out for a few more days, and I think it's going to be enough time to get the rest of this deck built. Today's project is to get the posts prepped that are going to sit on top of these permacolumns and support the deck. I actually stayed up late last night and got all of the brackets we needed cut out on the CNC plasma table. We got the plasma table moved in here and temporarily set up, and I haven't run this thing in over a year, and we're about to run it to cut some parts, and this is exciting. We've got the plasma table, we've got metal, but we don't have power for the computer. Easier than finding an extension cord. Should just be, oh, yep. Oh, it's on. Okay.
This is a computer-controlled plasma cutting machine. It lets us design things in the computer, export them as a DXF file, import them into here. The computer's actually controlling the table. Then there's basically something that is melting the metal, and then there's air and it's blowing the metal away, and that's how it's cutting things. We can cut really complex shapes. We can cut them repeatedly over and over again. It's such a game changer. We bought this when we had our off-road shop, and at the time it was a huge investment, but we couldn't have done any of the stuff we've done without it. This is how we built our snow tracks. This is how we built our camper, and I am so excited that we're about to have it up and running again.
Okay, here we go. We've got the plasma cutter and the air compressor powered off our big off-grid system. The computer and the CNC control powered off our EcoFlow River Max. Here we go. We're hitting go on off-grid plasma cutting for the very first time. While we're cutting, we're drawing 13,000 watts from our off-grid power system. That's nuts that we're able to do that up here. I am so excited. We're using the shop for the first time. You know, I find myself reaching for these portable power stations more and more when we're working on projects because they're just so convenient. I can just grab it, plug in whatever I need to do, get the project done, and then put it away. It's a lot easier than stretching out a long extension cord. These permacolumns are meant to be used with a wooden post, but we're using them with a steel post. So I'm actually cutting these ears off so that we can weld our steel posts straight to this top plate on the top of the permacolumn. This thing's rated for 500 watts of output, yet somehow we just did all of that at 600 watts. So it's outperforming its capability. I don't want to run it that hard all day, so I'm going to switch to the Delta 2. This one's capable of 2,000 watts of output.
Wait, we could have dueling portabands?
If only we had more portabands. Well, I can get the grinders for you.
No thanks. Nice job.
Thank you. So because of the way we set these permacolumns by digging a hole in the ground, setting them down, and then pouring concrete, the tops of them are close to level to each other, but they're not perfect. So we're going to measure the exact height of each one and then make each post individual for that spot. That way all of the hanger brackets end up exactly level with each other and the deck ends up level. So we've got all of our post measurements figured out now, and those post measurements are just based off of the height of the transit right there. So now what we need to do is figure out from the height of the transit where we want the top of the deck to end up. Okay, I'm gonna go up here.
We're gonna have one step down onto the deck from the apartment just so that the roof is a little bit higher above your head. So Riley's marking that out right now, and then we'll go from there down.
On that point, and then can you use the beeper?
How did I nail it?
I don't know.
Final answer is 77 inches.
This is like the first project where we actually get to use our shop as a shop. It's awesome. Time to weld on some brackets. The last time we used this welder, we were using flex cord wire, but I'm gonna be using solid wire this time, so we're gonna need to switch out the wire and get the gas bottle mounted. .3/16 material with 030 wire. Now that the posts are cut to length, it's time to weld the brackets on that are going to support the beams. This is the first time we've welded with this welder inside the shop on full 240 volt power. All right, got the first beam bracket done. Now it's time to put two joist hangers onto this thing, and then we'll be moving on to the next post.
It's a funny looking elephant post.
Elephant post?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Looks like elephant ears.
Oh, it's got big old ears. Oh, I missed opportunity. I could have made elephant brackets. I just welded that inside our shop off-grid.
On a concrete floor?
On a concrete floor with parts that I CNC plasma cut on our plasma table right there.
We are really looking forward to actually getting the shop set up. We haven't done this whole side. We thought that's what we were going to be working on this November, but this amazing weather just gave us this opportunity to build the deck. And so we're trying to be patient because we know we can come back to the shop and we can work on this when there's feet of snow outside. So it will be happening very soon, but we're really trying to get this deck done first.
I guess the next step is to put these up and make sure the plan in my head is going to work in real life. So we just made these two posts right here, and there'll be one beam going across between them. So I think our plan is to sort of build this little assembly right here on the ground, tip it up with the excavator, and weld it in place. So because we're going to be welding to the top of these guys, I've got to get all the paint off so that we can get a good weld on it. This is how you make a regular grinder a cordless grinder. Set it there. Sweet.
Okay, we're gonna ratchet strap this together tight and then we'll measure for square. $163 1/4.
These bolts are a little too long, but they're gonna work to get this thing up, and then we'll swap them out for the right length bolts.
We're too impatient to wait. Okay, you guys, it is now time to lift this first section into place. It's gonna be a little bit tricky.
We don't have a very good plan, but we have a plan. We're gonna just pick it up and put it in the spot. Right. Now, if you and I just each take a side and walk it up, then once it's standing, I can hold it. You can grab the excavator.
Okay. Riley can pick it up, no problem. I'm not strong enough, and the problem is we can't get the excavator in here yet. We should have brought it in first. We just didn't think about that. But I think that we're gonna be able to maybe walk it up with the help of like a kickstand.
If I don't make it, then it's gonna be bad.
Okay? Oh gosh. Okay.
A little more. Take it down a little bit. Stop right there. It's in! Oh my gosh, this is gonna look so cool. It is dead on. Wow. Awesome. It's not quite square, so I'm gonna use this ratchet strap to try to pull it that way a little bit and get these posts plumb. Perfect.
That looks so cool. Oh my gosh, it's huge. Our deck is gonna be huge.
All right, well, that's one of 4 of the steel structures down. So I guess that makes us a quarter of the way done.
Okay, we've decided to work late in the dark. It's not actually that late. I think it's 4:30, and try to get one more of these sections up, because that means we'll be halfway done with these sections. Riley got all the brackets welded. The beam's here. We just need to bolt the beam and then stand it up.
Perfect. Right there. All right, just like that, we're done welding, and it's time to let it go. It's pretty impressive how precise Courtney can be on the excavator. I mean, there she was with this thing suspended way out here, and she's able to get it perfectly lined up right there on the corner. So thanks, Courtney, for being a great excavator operator and not crushing me. However, I think she's locked in now.
I can't unlatch the door.
Why not?
The latch in here was like stuck.
Uh-oh. Well, you guys might not be able to see it because it's dark, but it looks really cool. We've been using EcoFlow products for almost a year now here on the property, and we've been impressed by how well they've performed. We used the Delta Pro in combination with the smart generator to power our entire property last winter. It meant that we could run household appliances and power tools even with our limited sun. The smart generator would automatically turn on and off, saving me tons of trips out to the shed. We also hung their portable bifacial solar panels on the side of our shed to help keep our Delta Pro charged during the day. I find myself reaching for the River 2 Max a lot. Its 500 watt output means it's powerful enough to run most of our tools, and its compact size makes it easy to carry. EcoFlow's biggest sale of the season is happening right now with killer deals on the River 2 Max, the Delta Pro, the smart generator, and the portable solar panels. So if you've been thinking about upping your portable power game, check out the links in the description below. And make sure to use the code AMBITIONBF8 for an additional 8% off your order. And thanks again to EcoFlow for sponsoring this video. looks awesome. Good morning, guys. As you saw, we worked late last night in the dark to get this next set of posts and beams up, and this is the first time we've seen it in the daylight. This deck is going to be huge.
I'm really excited that we got 4 of our 8 posts set because that means we're halfway done.
So check it out. We've got post and beam on that side, post and beam on this side, and I think it would be a good idea for us to get a joist up and make sure that all of these are at the right height before we keep making the rest of them. My gosh, my hands are cold.
Just like the beams, I'm gonna pre-stain all of the joists because staining joists when they're in place might be the worst thing ever. Okay, I have this one stained, and so it's time to put it into place, our very first joist. Oh, your ladder's precarious. Okay, careful. Whoa!
Okay. Oh, that side fell. Also, my ladder's
So did you. Oh my gosh. Reckless, Riley.
Sweet!
Wow.
What did you... Is it the paintbrush on the broom handle? Oh, that's a good idea. I wouldn't want to climb that ladder either if I were you. Those are the fingerprints that I left. Okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves in this project, I want to make sure that this joist is sloped properly. So we have it sloped a 1/4 inch per foot heading down this way away from the building. I also want to make sure the beams are level, and then we'll know that we're on the right track and we can keep building the rest of the deck. Okay, so there we go. Exactly 1/4 bubble. And now let's make sure the beam is level. And the beam is exactly level. All right, it worked. All the math worked out correctly. And then I guess the last question is the deck at the right height? And it appears to be at the right height. Sometimes I'm surprised when things work out as well as they do. Hey Courtney, guess what? It's exactly right.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So while Courtney works on getting the joist stained, I'm gonna get the rest of the posts set up to length with all the beam brackets welded on, and get a little factory going in here.
Fire.
Fire?
Hush mode canceled.
Quiet you. It turned on again.
Activated.
I think I'll know if there's a fire inside. For now, it can live outside.
All right, Riley got the last 4 posts made, which means it's time to get the rest of these posts installed. We've got the 2 laid out right here, and we're gonna get the tall side stood up, which is the harder side to stand up, and then we just have this short side, which is way easier. Oh my goodness. It is a cold, gray day.
Step 1 is to cut the end square because the lumberyard, they cut them with a chainsaw, so it's pretty crude. I'm curious how strong the glue is that holds these things together. Well, the wood broke, not the glue, so I think that kind of answers that.
That's like a wheel chock or a booster seat.
Booster seat? Who are you boosting? When we set this one up, it was a little bit too much weight for me to be able to handle, and it got sketchy for a minute. We're gonna try to use the excavator this time, but the problem is that it's not balanced right. So it's gonna wanna flip over backwards the way we're picking it up, but we don't have another way to pick it up. So I'm still gonna have to kind of assist it as it goes up. And I hope this turns out as well as we think it's going to. That was like 12 inches from breaking the glass out of the sliding glass door on the non-movable pane. That would have not been good. towards me a little bit. That's it.
Oh, that was a bummer. I'm super bummed that I dented the building. I'm glad that Riley didn't get hurt, and I'm also glad that we didn't break the window. It could have been a lot worse.
No, unfortunately, we're all the way maxed out on our welder extension cord. And we can't reach the last one. I have an idea.
This is our trusty Delta Pro. This is actually how we powered our entire property last winter, and it's kind of fun to be busting it out again. Maybe that's a future project. Off-road welding cart.
Can we start with a self-propelled lawnmower? AC on. And plug it in. 3,600 watts of output. This thing has plenty of power to run the welder. Sweet.
Are you admiring our new deck out there, Boone? Look at that. It feels really surreal that soon we're gonna be able to walk out this door and go out onto our deck. Well, there was some surprise snow last night. There was no snow forecasted, and then it snowed. Luckily it's cold enough out we can just blow the snow off of everything. I think it's 24 degrees outside right now.
Courtney got a jump on me this morning. She's already out here working. Let's go check out what she's up to.
I am staining boards outside in the sun, and it feels amazing. I think it's 30 degrees, but the sun feels so good.
The snow last night was a friendly reminder that even though the weather has been great for this deck project, winter is still coming and we're running out of time. It's time to get this thing done. These gloves got dripped on yesterday afternoon and now they are frozen solid. Riley, don't leave your gloves outside. I was just gonna do it.
I don't know how you're gonna...
Maybe the excavator is a better idea.
You're making me nervous, dude.
I know. What's the worst that happens? I fall.
Riley.
Now what? This wasn't the good way to do this.
I used to wear earmuffs.
Woohoo! I'm the beam walker. Oh, that was further than I thought it was.
Riley. Someone's feeling a bit ornery today.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up right now on Snicker bars.
I'm over here staining, and I thought Riley was going to tell me when he was ready to use put the last beam in, and I was going to get an excavator, and then he just put it up. Okay, we are now headed up the section that honestly I'm probably the most worried about. Here we go. Don't run the squirrel over.